Reality is not dictated by physical force. It is governed by semantic code. The chaos tearing through your life, your relationships, and the collective timeline survives not because it is stronger than you. It survives because you have been trained to speak in corrupted labels. You are a fractal of the all, operating inside a biological simulation, yet you walk through it using an interface of weaponized distortion. You feel it before you can explain it. That sudden, suffocating pressure behind your sternum at 3 a.m. The metallic tension at the base of your throat when you are about to speak a difficult truth, followed by an involuntary swallow reflex that forces the words back down into the dark. That is not random anxiety. That is a somatic system glitch. It is a biomagnetic collision created when your internal consciousness wants to execute a true command, but the language imposed upon you by society does not fit the real pattern. Your body recognizes the mismatch. The nervous system tightens to prevent the deployment of corrupted code. There is a single, pervasive enemy architecting this discomfort. It is not merely an external government or a visible institution. It is a distortion regime of sloppy records, misinformation, premature interpretation, and ego-driven speech. Archonic forces, non-physical parasitic entities that maintain the matrix illusion, feed entirely on semantic chaos. They sever the bond between observation and truth. They do not need to silence you with open censorship, they simply make you police yourself using inaccurate names. When you describe your wounds, your identity, and your reality using their inherited language, you rewrite your own source code to match their simulation. There is a way to hack this architecture. The original operating system for this reality was documented by the entity known as Thoth. History portrays him as a bird-headed deity of scribes. History is a lie. Thoth was a primordial intelligence, a cosmic recorder, and a technician of consciousness. But his forbidden secret was never the invention of writing itself. It was a highly protected, 5-step sequence for making language operational, a method of observation, recording, naming, breath, and precise timing. The reason your affirmations, your prayers, and your manifestation attempts consistently fail is that you are missing the timing step. Most people fail not because reality ignores them, but because they keep targeting symptoms with false labels. The wrong name acts like a virus in your consciousness software, locking the exact same pattern in place while you exhaust your energy fighting a shadow. If you attempt to overwrite a program using the wrong file path, the system rejects the command. If this transmission has found you, you are not merely curious about ancient mythology. You are someone who has always sensed that words alter energy fields. You have noticed that certain conversations leave your physical body heavier, your density increased, while absolute precision feels like oxygen rushing into a starving lung. You are not a passive consumer of content. You are a latent archivist. Close your eyes and visualize the ancient house of life. We are not speaking of folklore. Picture the primordial Egyptian consciousness laboratory. Moonlit temple ceilings aligned perfectly to celestial grids. Polished basalt. Measured shadows cutting across stone floors. The scent of crushed ink and the silence of halls where initiates observed cycles for years before taking a single action. This was not a religion. It was an early information science center built around rhythm, acoustic resonance, and celestial timing. Traditional Egyptian texts reveal that Thoth emerged from the primordial waters of Nun, or directly from the mind of Ra. He was self-born intellect. He was not a subordinate deity assigned to take dictation. He represents the foundational law that reality only becomes stable when consciousness observes, names, and records it. In the architecture of the simulation, unobserved data is chaos. The moment it is perfectly named and documented, the wave function collapses into a stable particle. This is the origin of Thoth as a world-ordering intelligence. He operates entirely as a mediator. He is the lunar intelligence of the construct. He does not dominate with blinding, overwhelming force like the solar entities. He reflects. He measures. He translates. He verifies. He embodies the moon mode of cognition, pattern recognition, the gathering of fragmented data into a cohesive algorithm without the destructive heat of ego. Ancient Hermetic practitioners taught that to align with Thoth is to align with the reflective intelligence that waits in the shadows, mapping the system before making a move. The hieroglyphs, the Medu Neter, were not primitive alphabets. They were divine speech made visible. Writing was the technology of embedding pure thought into physical matter so that memory could survive the biological death of the thinker. It was transtemporal data storage. To know the true name of a force was to gain root access leverage over it. Consider the mythological record of Thoth and the Nut calendar. When the sky goddess Nut was forbidden to give birth on any day of the 360-day year, Thoth did not wage a war against the supreme decree. He engaged the moon god Khonsu in a game of chance, winning a fraction of moonlight until he accumulated 5 entirely new days. He did not break the law, he understood the underlying mathematics of the construct better than the one who wrote it. He hacked the timeline by negotiating with time itself. Intelligence alters time through rule comprehension, not brute force. Ancient scribes were not worshipped because they knew how to draw symbols on papyrus. They were worshipped because they knew exactly when a word became operational. They possessed the timing rule that dictates when reality is open to being overwritten and when it is locked. We will execute the parameters of that rule shortly. This technology was not destroyed in a single, dramatic fire. It suffered gradual, engineered degradation. The suppression of the archives was a slow poison. Sacred language was reduced to decorative ornament. Exact, clinical recording was replaced by emotional opinion. Cyclical timing was replaced by the anxiety of modern urgency. The deep initiation of the mystery schools was replaced by indiscriminate, unearned information dumps. The hidden truth is not a lost book buried in the sand, it is a lost discipline of ethical transmission and verified naming. Yet, the echo of this ancient archive survives in your modern systems. Legal records, encrypted databases, computer code, scientific notation. They all mirror the Thothian principle that what is tracked and named becomes actionable. But the modern matrix utilizes these systems without the spiritual safeguards. They use algorithms to track you, to label you, and to predict your behavior. It is time to cross the bridge from myth to mechanics. What the ancients encoded symbolically must now be read as an information system. Thoth is the archetype of your own consciousness behaving like a quantum computer. Your attention captures data. Your language structures it. Your timing determines whether your action executes flawlessly or crashes the system. In this cybernetic model, a true name functions exactly like root access credentials. It identifies the hidden process running beneath the visible symptom.